G'day guys, my name's Dave Trent. Welcome to another Throwback Thursday edition of a Guitar Zero to Hero song tutorial. And in today's lesson, I'll be teaching you how to play Bloom by the Paperkites. Now for the basics of this song, you'll need your guitar in standard tuning and you will need a capo on the 6th fret of your guitar. Now if you want to master your chords back to front, then be sure to head over to guitarzerotohero.com to pick up my free guitar ebook. Now I've had a few requests for this song, and it's actually pretty funny. It's a small world because the lead singer of the Paperkites, Sam Bentley, his old band and my old band actually used to tour together maybe 8-9 years ago. He's definitely one of the funniest guys going around, but is also probably one of the best songwriters that I know, hands down. He's amazing. Now this is a beautiful fingerpicking song. For the fingerpicking basics, your thumb will be playing the 6th, 5th and 4th strings, and your index, middle and ring finger will be playing the 3rd, 2nd and 1st strings respectively. And they won't play any other strings other than the ones they're assigned to. For our fingerpicking pattern, we'll need to be playing an A minor 7 chord shape. Now that's the same as an A minor, except you're lifting your ring finger up off the 3rd string. We're going to start by plucking the 2nd and the 5th strings together, holding that out for a tiny bit. And then we have a 5-note picking run here, which goes 4th string, 3rd string, 5th string, 2nd string, and then back to the 4th string. So all in one motion. And one more time. And together with the first pluck. We're going to pluck the 5th and 2nd strings together again, hold that out for a tiny bit, and then pluck the 4th and 3rd strings. And then you'll take your middle finger up off the 2nd fret, you'll pluck the 5th string and hammer on to the 2nd fret of the 5th string, like that, and then pluck the 4th and 3rd strings. So the second half of this first bar will sound like this. And all together for the first bar. And then to start off the second bar with our middle finger here on the 2nd fret of the 5th string, you're going to pluck it again and then hammer on with your ring finger onto the 3rd fret of the 5th string, like that. After you've hammered onto the 3rd fret, we're going to pluck the 4th, 2nd, 5th, 3rd, 4th, and then 2nd. And that's all going to be fairly quickly one after the other. And then we're going to pluck the 4th string, but you're going to use your middle finger here to hammer on to the 2nd fret of that 4th string. And then we pluck 3rd string, 2nd string, 4th string, 3rd string, and then you lift your middle finger and pluck that 4th string again. This section's perhaps the most complicated because there's no real structure to it. There's a whole bunch of notes that you sort of just need to memorize and lock into your head. So that second part will sound like this from the hammer on. And in total for the second bar. One more time. Then for the third bar, we're going to go to a G shape, but you only really need to push down on the 3rd fret of the 6th and the 3rd fret of the 2nd string. So we're going to pluck the 2nd and the 6th strings together, hold that out for a little bit, and then our next little run of notes goes 3rd string, 4th string, 6th string, 2nd string, and then back to the 4th string. So like this. And all together for that chunk. The great thing is that for the rest of the riff, the picking pattern that we just played there is exactly the same. The next time we play that picking pattern though, you take your index finger and put it down on the 1st fret of the 2nd string, and you pluck the exact same picking pattern. Like that. And then finally, for the last bar, you lift that index finger and you're playing that picking pattern again twice. So again, to recap, that picking pattern is hitting the 6th and the 2nd strings together, holding it out for a little bit, and then plucking the 4th, 3rd, 6th, 2nd, and back to 4th strings, like this. Then change position, and then open. And that's it for the main riff. So in total, the main riff will sound like this. Now there's one variation to this riff, and it's just where we have a pause or just before the chorus. And it's very simple. All we need to do is completely cut out the very last bar, and we just play the 6th and the 2nd string together with this G chord shape where we only have our middle finger on the 3rd fret of the 6th string, like that, and we just hold it. So the 3rd and 4th bar will just sound like this for the variation. So that's it for the main fingerpicking riff that gets played basically throughout the whole song. I'll just play that riff at 50, 75 and 100% speeds, and I'll have a close-up of my picking hand so you can see exactly what I'm doing. Alright, so now I'm going to teach you the lead parts in this song. So the intro lead part starts on the 2nd fret of the 4th string. We're going to play that with our middle finger. And then with our ring finger, we're going to play the 2nd fret of the 3rd string, slide up to the 4th. And then with our index finger, pluck the 2nd fret and pull off to the open. So, and then we end by playing the 2nd fret of the 4th string again. And then after that, we'll slide again from the 2nd to the 4th, pull off from the 2nd to open, and then we're going to hit the open 4th string and let that ring out. And in total, the intro lead will sound like this. Now that's guitar number 1. There's actually a second guitar that's played on top, and it's the exact same lick, but it's an octave higher. So to play the intro lead an octave higher, we'll start with the 5th fret relative to the capo on the 2nd string. Play that with our middle finger. Then we'll pluck the 5th fret of the 1st string and slide up to the 7th fret. And then we're going to go back to the 5th fret and pluck that and pull off to the 3rd fret. And so far. And then we go back to the 5th fret of the 2nd string. And so far. And then we're going to do the slide up to the 7th fret again, and the pull off, and then we're going to end our run on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string. So the lead riff an octave higher will just sound like this. Now we get to the solo. Now again, the solo has 2 guitar parts. One is played the octave lower and one is played the octave higher. So let's start with the lower octave. And we're going to start by sliding from the 5th fret of the 6th string up to the 7th fret of the 6th string. Then we're going to play the 5th fret of this 5th string and then hammer on to the 7th fret. So, and then we go up to the 5th fret of the 4th string, back to the 7th fret and back to the 5th fret, and then we slide back to the 7th fret of the 6th string. So all together, like that. And we're going to play that through twice. So now we play it a third time, but there's a little bit of a variation. Instead of sliding back to the 7th fret of the 6th string to end that run, we go to the 7th fret of the 4th string, and then we pluck it again and slide up to the 9th fret. And that run will sound like this. And then we play the original run one more time. Like that. Then we get to our second line of tab. We start by hitting our open 4th string, then 2nd fret, then open 3rd string. Then you're going to hit that open string again and hammer on to the 2nd fret. And then you're going to pluck that 2nd fret and slide up to the 4th fret. And then the rest of the tab is exactly the same as our intro lead, which sounds like this. That was the lead that I taught you, which is at the start of the song. And you just repeat that second line through twice. And in total, the solo will sound like this. Now we get to the higher octave solo, and all the timing and all of that is exactly the same. Just our position of our notes will be a little different because it's an octave higher. So to start this, we're going to slide from the 2nd fret of the 3rd string up to the 4th fret, and then you're going to pluck the 3rd fret of the 2nd string and hammer onto the 5th. And then go up to the 3rd fret of the 1st, and then go back to 5th, 3rd of the 2nd string, and then slide back to the 4th fret of the 3rd string. So that run. So you play that riff through 4 times, except for the 3rd time there's a bit of a variation, remember? So instead of sliding back to this 4th fret for the last note of that chunk, we're going to hit the 5th fret of the 1st string, pluck it again, and slide up to the 7th. So in total the first line sounds like this. Now we get to the second line, and the first chunk starts on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string, 5th fret, and then we go to the 3rd fret of the 1st, and then we pluck it again, hammer on to the 5th, pluck that 5th fret again, and slide up to the 7th. So that section is our lead in, which sounds like this. And then the rest of it is the same as the lead in the intro, which sounds like this. And you repeat that again. So the second line in total will sound like this. And you play that through twice. And that's it for Bloom, an amazingly beautiful finger picking riff. I highly suggest that you start by playing it out super slow along with the metronome, and then just work your way up slowly and slowly until you get to the full speed, which is actually quite fast with the finger picking. But if you practice, you'll definitely get there. So now I'm going to be playing through the majority of the song, and I'm going to have a vocal track on top for some context. Feel free to play this back as many times as you'd like to practice, play along to, and see how you go. Thanks guys, hope you've enjoyed. Be sure to head over to guitar0tohero.com to pick up my free guitar ebook. If you've enjoyed this, hit that like button, hit subscribe, leave your thoughts, comments, questions and a request down below, and I'll see you guys next time on Guitar Zero to Hero. Cheers.